Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We bring you in closer here, guys. Get cozy. It's Christmas time now. We're all cozy. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Luke with Premium Aquatics here and the tank. And today we are doing something with pest. Pests in your tank. Something that's super annoying, and especially when you get overran with them. We've already dealt with one pest, which were the flatworms, and my Melanoris wrasse thankfully got rid of them for me. Now we've got another one that has started to spring up, which I'm surprised that it's taken so long to get in this tank, but most people have them at least at once in their life. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay guys, so today we're looking at another pest that most people know about, and we're just going to treat it. I wanted to show off this treatment. I've had it for a little while, but I haven't had a chance to use it because I didn't have a reason to use it. Now I do, unfortunately. But without further ado, we're talking about the famous Aiptasia. I've got it growing in the tank. I've seen a few sprout up, and I need to get rid of it before it becomes out of hand, because once it becomes out of hand, it's basically a losing battle unless you get something like Bergia nudibranchs, or you get lucky with peppermint shrimp or some other fish that actually will eat them. Not many do, so it's one of those little caveats that there are livestock that eat flatworms, but you may not always be the lucky one to get it. So what I'm going to try today is F Aiptasia. So this is made by Frank's Tanks. I've been excited to try it out because it has a different type of adhesion, I guess, than most others, where you've got like the Red Sea Aiptasia X, you've got caulk water solution you can use. There are a lot of different options. You can do the zapper for the Mahana wand. So let's open it up here. This is really simple, guys. You get this little bottle of solution and a syringe that we're going to utilize to cover up the Aiptasia. So with this, we get our bottle of solution, we get our syringe, our two little needle points, they're not really needles, but two applicators, and then a stir stick to stir this up, because it's important that this gets stirred up. But what makes this so unique, and I'll show you here when we test it out on one, it's more of like a paste that you put and cover up the entire anemone. You want to get full coverage on the anemone, where you get things like Aiptasia X and some of those others where you're just trying to put it on the mouth and be very precise with it. This, we're trying to clean up the entire thing. We're just basically making a cocoon for it to die off in. I'll bring you in closer to one of the Aiptasias. I think there's one actually, if I recall right, on my Xenia rock, which is nice because it's kind of secluded, but I can bring that out closer to the tank, and then I'll show you covering it up. They do warn you, do not put this on your coral or it could have an adverse effect on that. So be very careful and mindful when you're placing this. Don't just go willy-nilly and throw it in there. Make sure you're not getting it on your coral so you don't damage tissue or anything like that. But basically, we're going to get in there, get my syringe filled up, cover up the Aiptasia, and then they recommend leaving your power heads off for 30 minutes so it can have time to harden and your power heads and water movement isn't blowing this around and destroying what you just tried to do. So turn off your water flow, let it sit for 30 minutes and harden up, and then go from there. So let's open this bad boy up, stir it up, get it on this Aiptasia. So I've got it mixed up. I did use a stir stick. I would highly recommend it. It is pretty chunky in the bottle when you open it up. The liquids do separate, so you want to do that when you're ready to go. Mix it up with a stir stick, then give it a really good firm shake to make sure it's mixed up. So as you can see here, we've got two Aiptasia, one right here I'm going to deal with, and one right here. And maybe a little one over here, I can't tell. So I have the solution here in the syringe, and I'm going to basically just start by covering the mouth and then essentially just go into town by covering this bad boy up completely. You do want to get complete coverage over it and basically encapsulate it in this solution. And that really is all it is. Bam, that guy's done. Move on to the next one. There's another one here that I found. So we'll get this guy covered up. I'm using the long needle. There is a curved tip as well that you could utilize to get, into a little nook and cranny if you needed to. I'll show you this one as well. It's right here. Again, I'm going to be careful because I've got some zoanthids up here. I don't want to touch them, but we're just going to go real gently in. Thankfully, these are all pretty small Aiptasia, so they're easy to get covered up. I'm not having to use a ton of this solution, which is okay if it does, but that's all there is to it. Bam, it's covered up. And I can go through the system, find however many there are, and cover them up so they do not come back and grow again. So I'll give this 30 minutes. It says 30 to 60 minutes. We'll give it up and come back and check on it, and it should be hardened up within 60 minutes. And then at that point, we're done. If you want to open it up to just see it later on for that little ooh and ah effect later down the road, give it a few days and you do that. I'm just going to leave it because I want it to just coralline over and be done. So as long as you encapsulate it completely, there should be no reason that it would come back, because essentially you just encased it into a hard shell. So really cool. So let's give it a little bit of time and we'll come back and we'll check it out again. All right, guys, so it's been a little bit over an hour here. It is soft still. I can definitely easily break it, so it might have a little bit more time to harden up, but it's doing great. Everything's covered up. You can't see any Aiptasia poking out here, so it looks perfect. All right, guys, Frank's F Aiptasia. Go check it out. I'll put a link in the description as always. I'm excited to have this in my arsenal, and I'm excited that it hardens up so that way coralline will grow over it very nicely, and just make it a part of the tank like nothing happened. Nothing's there. I don't have to worry about it coming back. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. So I'm not going to bust it up myself, but you guys can do as you wish. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving, and we'll have a great Christmas coming up. If you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so you stay the most up to date on this system, as well as the other videos we're putting out. And we will catch you in a few short weeks. Peace.